Hi, this is Meg from Cracking an Egg with One Hand, and today I'm going to give you an example of some wonderful holiday gifts that we can make, and they are incredibly simple and they are incredibly delicious. We are making herbal honey. You're going to start with honey, basic. Do local honey if you can find it. It's better. It works better with your body to be around if it comes from your local area. We're going to pour this into a non-reactive saucepan. And you want to make sure that you're not using an aluminum saucepan for this because it will make your honey taste kind of metallic. I'm going to put just about a cup or so, I think there's more than a cup in there, of honey. For every cup of honey that you use, you'll need just about 1/4 cup of your herbs. This is the cinnamon. This is the easiest. I'm going to start with the easy and do the slightly more difficult. We're going to add your cinnamon sticks to that. We're going to warm the honey up. You want to keep your honey over low heat, especially if you're using raw honey, so that you're just heating the honey up. You're not trying to boil it or make it anything else. When you start, your honey's going to be really thick, and by the time that it's warm enough, you want it just about the consistency of a syrup. And it doesn't take long, just about a minute, to warm it up and make it more liquid. Today we're going to be making herbal honeys with cinnamon and with sage. The cinnamon honey is a wonderful gift for the holidays. It adds a lot of flavor to pretty much anything you put it in, and it has a wonderful seasonal scent and taste. This is just about ready. You can see now that it's very liquid. Go ahead and give it one more stir there. You just want your honey barely warm. Go ahead and put that in. And there we go. Put that down. And there. I'll wipe this off quick there. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and lid that. And once this is added, you're going to let it sit on your counter for about 2 weeks, and the flavor will infuse from the cinnamon sticks into the honey, and it's very, very good on toast. Our next one is sage, and I'm going to add a little bit more honey. There. Maybe. There we go. And now you can use individual sage leaves and put that into your honey, or you can chop it up. If you're looking for a quick burst of flavor, if you don't have the time for 2 weeks to let it sit, you can chop it a little more finely and then add it to your honey, which is what we're going to do here. I have to remember not to lick my finger. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do just a quick chop on this, so you can just kind of get the idea here. I'm going to do just about 1/4 inch pieces are good. So it's just about that, and we have just about a 1/4 cup. A little bit more, I think, for that. We're going to add that in, and we're going to turn this back on and turn it back down to a low heat. We're going to put a little bit more in there. We have just about a 1.5 cups or so of honey in the pot. Now, sage and cinnamon are not the only herbs you can use. You can use pretty much any herb you can find, but you do want to keep it the equivalent to about 1/4 cup of plant to a cup of honey. That allows for a good mix, a good balance there. I'm going to stir this back up again and just let this. In this, you're essentially making tea with honey, using the honey as the liquid, and it helps the flavor get a little more infused into your honey. So I like to use sage honey for colds, and if you're making a honey mustard chicken, this is an excellent honey to use for that because it adds a little bit of herbal flavor to it. Once again, the honey is very liquid already. We're going to go ahead and just pour that in. It does not take long at all. See if I can do that without spilling too much. Pour that in. That's just about a cup of honey and about 1/3 of a cup of sage, chopped fresh sage. You can use dried plant or dried herb. I would just, if you have a very potent herb like lavender, That's something that you just kind of have to gauge with your nose. If it smells really potent, use just about a quarter cup to a cup. If it smells a little not quite as fresh as it could be, use a little bit more. Another one of my favorites is fennel. Fennel adds a really rich taste to honey, and that's also very good on toast. I'm going to go ahead and cap this, and I have to wipe this off real quick. There we go. We'll cap that. You can also let this sit out, but cooking the plant with the honey is kind of a better way to kickstart that infusion process. So we have our two honeys here. You can either put a cloth over the top, take the band off, and put a piece of cloth over the top and secure the band, and that adds a little bit of a decorative touch to it. Or you can add the white lids, these types of canning lids here, replacement lids. I would actually recommend these over the metal band lids, just because between the lid and the band, it gets very sticky very quickly, and you'll find yourself wrestling a jar on the counter trying to get into your honey. But they make beautiful, quick, easy gifts. Another one that is very popular is vanilla honey. That is a phenomenal scent for the holidays. You can also do some cinnamon sticks and one vanilla bean. Just split the vanilla bean and kind of scrape a little bit when you're stirring it into the honey and let that sit. The cinnamon vanilla is a wonderful flavor for the holidays, as is peppermint. If you happen to have fresh mint growing in your garden, that's another really good honey to use. You can also use any herb. I've used basil, I've used clove. Clove is another very good holiday scent, and you can use your scented honey for pretty much anything you would want. I just particularly like it over the top of oatmeal or on toast. But the sage honey in particular, if you were here on Keeper of the Home about a month ago, you will have found my cold kicker recipe on here, and that's still sitting here. And you can, if you decide to sweeten your cold kicker recipe, I would highly recommend the sage honey because it adds that extra boost to that. But for the most part, these make great gifts, quick, easy stocking stuffers for people. It doesn't take much. You can use a little bit lower quality honey if you want, because you are going to warm it up a little bit. You don't have to buy the raw. It is better too. And you'll still get wonderful flavored honeys from them. Easy gifts, quick gifts, very simple, and very frugal if you grow your own herbs. So there's our easy gifts for the holiday season, and thank you for joining me.